The difference between aesthetic arts and crafts. Have you ever admired a beautiful painting in a museum or watched a talented artisan weave an intricate basket? At first glance, both may seem like works of art, but have you ever wondered what makes something an artwork and what makes it a craft? Hello everyone. Once again, this is Sir Harold. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our educational content. In today's lesson, we're going to discuss the difference between aesthetic arts and crafts. Although these two are closely related, they have different purposes, characteristics, and roles in our culture. By the end of this video, you'll be able to distinguish aesthetic arts from crafts and appreciate why both are equally valuable in our daily lives. What are aesthetic arts? Let's begin with aesthetic arts. The word aesthetic comes from the Greek word aesthesis, which means perception through the senses. In simple terms, aesthetics is the study of beauty and how people appreciate beautiful things. Aesthetic arts are creative works that are made mainly to express beauty, emotions, imagination, ideas, or personal experiences. Their primary purpose is not necessarily to be useful, but to inspire, communicate, and move people emotionally. Artists often create works to tell stories, express their feelings, raise awareness about social issues, or simply celebrate the beauty of life. Every artwork reflects the artist's own perspective and creativity. Characteristics of aesthetic arts. There are several important characteristics of aesthetic arts. First, aesthetic arts focus on beauty and expression. A painting, a song, or a sculpture may express happiness, sadness, love, hope, or even anger. The goal is to touch people's emotions. Second, artists enjoy creative freedom. There are no strict rules that limit their imagination. They can experiment with different styles, colors, materials, and techniques. Third, originality is highly valued. Every artwork is unique because it represents the artist's personal ideas and vision. Fourth, aesthetic arts are open to subjective interpretation. Two people may look at the same painting but understand it differently because everyone has different experiences and perspectives. Finally, aesthetic arts create an emotional impact. They inspire us, make us think deeply, or encourage us to see the world in a different way. Examples of aesthetic arts include painting, sculpture, music, dance, literature, theater, photography, film, installation art, and digital art. What are crafts? Now let's talk about crafts. Crafts are objects that are made through skilled manual work using traditional or modern techniques. Unlike aesthetic arts, crafts usually combine beauty with usefulness. Craftsmanship requires patience, precision, practice, and technical expertise. Many craft skills are learned through years of experience or are passed down from one generation to another. Examples of crafts include making furniture, weaving baskets, creating pottery, sewing clothes, carving wood, or designing jewelry. Characteristics of crafts. Let's examine the main characteristics of crafts. First, crafts usually have a functional purpose. Many crafted objects are designed for everyday use while still looking beautiful. Second, crafts require a high level of technical skill. A skilled craftsperson spends years mastering techniques to produce quality work. Third, many crafts preserve traditional knowledge and cultural heritage. Families and communities often pass these skills from one generation to the next. Fourth, crafts are generally reproducible. The same design or pattern can be created many times while maintaining consistent quality. Finally, crafts place great importance on precision, durability, and attention to detail. Examples include pottery, basket weaving, wood carving, embroidery, quilting, jewelry making, metalworking, glass blowing, leather crafting, and textile weaving. The difference between aesthetic arts and crafts. Now, let's compare the two. The primary purpose of aesthetic arts is to express beauty, ideas, emotions, and imagination. Crafts, on the other hand, are mainly created to produce useful or decorative objects. When it comes to focus, aesthetic arts emphasize creativity and artistic expression, while crafts emphasize technical skill, craftsmanship, and functionality. In terms of originality, aesthetic artworks are usually one of a kind and highly unique. Crafts, however, may follow the same design or pattern and can be reproduced many times. Regarding function, aesthetic arts are often appreciated for their emotional or symbolic meaning rather than practical use. Crafts are commonly designed to serve a practical purpose while still being visually attractive. When people evaluate aesthetic arts, they often consider creativity, meaning, originality, and emotional impact. In contrast, crafts are judged by the quality of workmanship, durability, precision, and overall design. The relationship between art and craft, although aesthetic arts and crafts have differences, they are closely connected. Many great artworks require excellent craftsmanship, while many crafts display extraordinary artistic beauty. For example, a beautifully designed ceramic vase is both useful and artistic. Today, many museums display crafts alongside fine arts because both represent important expressions of human creativity. Examples from Philippine culture: the Philippines is rich in both aesthetic arts and traditional crafts. Examples of aesthetic arts include contemporary paintings by Filipino artists, public murals, traditional dances, musical performances, theater productions, and independent films. Meanwhile, Filipino crafts include banig weaving, the beautiful Tinalak weaving of the Taboli people, pottery, bamboo furniture, handwoven baskets, wood carvings, shell crafts, and traditional embroidery. These crafts do more than produce beautiful objects. They preserve our history, strengthen our cultural identity, and provide livelihood opportunities for many Filipino communities. Why is it important to know the difference? Understanding the difference between aesthetic arts and crafts helps us appreciate the many forms of creativity around us. It teaches us to recognize artistic expression, respect skilled craftsmanship, preserve our cultural heritage, and develop critical thinking when evaluating creative works. More importantly, it reminds us that beauty and usefulness can exist together. The modern perspective today, the line between art and craft is becoming less clear. Modern artists often combine creativity with craftsmanship. Digital artists create interactive installations. Fashion designers produce wearable art. Ceramic artists transform ordinary pottery into sculptures. Furniture designers create pieces that are both functional and artistic. In today's creative world, what matters most is not whether something is called art or craft, but how it inspires people and enriches our lives. To summarize, aesthetic arts primarily focus on expressing beauty, emotions, imagination, and ideas. They invite people to think, feel, and interpret meaning in different ways. Crafts, on the other hand, emphasize skilled workmanship and the creation of useful or decorative objects that combine beauty with function. Although they have different purposes, aesthetic arts and crafts complement one another. Together, they preserve culture, encourage innovation, and showcase the incredible creativity of human beings. As students and future professionals, learning to appreciate both aesthetic arts and crafts allows us to better understand our history, value our traditions, and celebrate the many ways people express themselves through creativity. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your classmates and friends. See you in our next lesson.